FAA's diversity push includes focus on hiring people. Rob, if you want to get that video ready. Folks, brace for impact. FAA's diversity push includes focus on hiring people with, ready, severe intellectual and psychiatric disabilities.
What?
Yeah, that's not a joke.
Did you guys understand what I just... Let me read this article to you to see what FAA is doing and what direction these guys are going. The Federal Aviation Administration has launched a diversity and inclusion hiring initiative targeting individuals with severe intellectual disabilities. Look at it right there on the screen, okay? And psychiatric disorders and various physical and mental conditions as specified on the agency's website. The FAA's approach is grounded in the belief that diversity is integral to achieving FAA's mission of ensuring safe and efficient travel across our nation and beyond. Controversy has arisen regarding the potential safety implications of prioritizing diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives in aviation industry. Figures like Elon Musk have expressed concerns asking, do you want to fly in an airplane where they prioritize DEI hiring over your safety? While actively promoting diversity, and FAA maintains that individuals with severe mental and physical disabilities constitute an underrepresented segment in the federal workforce. Here's a CEO of United Airlines being interviewed, and the guy even pushes him, which the interviewers is probably even more annoying than the CEO when you listen to. Let's just go ahead and watch it for yourself. Go ahead, Rob.
This is Scott Kirby from United.
Go ahead,
CEO.
Rob.
How is diversity and diversity targets working into the Aviation Academy?
We have committed that 50% of the class of the classes will be women or people of color.
Yeah, that's right.
Today, only 19% of our pilots at United Airlines are women or people of color. And by the way, from all the data I've seen, that's the highest of any airline in the country.
White males don't just dominate in the cockpits, also in the C-suite at United Airlines.
Well, look, at United, I'm proud of the diversity that we actually have in our C-suite. I think if you look around corporate America.
Correct me if I'm saying, though, so this was just based off your website, the people you list as executives, but out of 11 people, 3 are women. I believe 1 is a person of color.
That's correct. But, in corporate America, I think,
That's a low bar. How do you raise your own bar?
Well, a lot of this is, focusing on it. We have programs to, one of the things we do is for every job when we do an interview, we require women and people of color to be involved in the interview process, bringing people in early in their careers as well.
He's now trying to
giving them those
really impress this. He can pause it right there. Vinny, thoughts?
Okay, guys.
Was some of this sarcasm?
No,
what is happening here?
Adam, when it comes
This is as real as it is. This is not a
Was the guy
satire.
grilling him?
He's grilling him for not being DEI enough.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
He's not,
Go ahead,
so
Vinny.
He's like, you're only at 19%. I need you higher. He's like, we're doing better than anyone, buddy.
Brother, this is the FAA. I want everybody to know, just last week, a freaking door flew off of an airplane because some guy didn't do their jobs right. So listen to this, and I'm going to break down what you said.
And a little boy lost his shirt.
And a boy lost his shirt. God forbid, I hope it wasn't his lucky
Or
one.
all the passengers lost their shit.
Guys, listen to the language, okay? They're hiring severe, not mild, not regular, but severe intellectual disabilities, which translates to dumb, psychiatric disorders, crazy, and various physical and mental conditions. Mentally retarded, let's say for what it is. And by the way, that, who you guys just saw, was Scott Kirby. Rob, I sent you a link of who he is. He said 50% are going to be women, people of color, and LGBTQ community. It's called, United calls it Flying with Pride. Show this, Rob. This is him in drag, and I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care what he does.
Wait, who's this?
This is the CEO. Like, keep going, Rob.
That's the CEO.
The CEO of United goes and he's incorporating drag into their business and sponsoring drag shows. That's no wonder why he wants everybody, because he wants to be inclusion of all his friends. And listen, Adam, everybody out there, with all due respect, if I'm about to board a flight and I just happen to look into the cockpit and I see 2 lesbian pilots, one is Indian, one is Middle Eastern, one is wearing a helmet and eating Jell-O, I'm running the fuck off that plane. I'm sorry. Listen, let me explain something to you. I'm like, no, and I'm leaving. But because hear me out. DEI, I'm totally fine with it if it's at Starbucks and the barista is a non-binary vegan with green hair that is wearing a mask with a bull ring. I don't give a shit. It's coffee. If they mess up, I'll be like, okay, who's the normal? Give me the regular coffee. This is my life. This is flying on an airplane. And I'm telling you guys right now, How long do you think until this thing backfires and God forbid a United Airlines crashes because of this shit right here? When are we going to stop playing the game of, guys, we got to make everybody happy? I will never, ever get on another United Airlines flight ever. And if you're a United Airlines frequent flyer, mile, whatever, I would look into either getting your money, having them cash that in, because it's horse shit. What? No, by the way, that's the FAA. That means they're hiring everybody at the airport, everybody that works for the airlines are going to be crazy. Like, can you imagine the flight attendants now going, hey, everybody put on your seatbelt, even though I don't know how to use it? Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Can I add one thing on how correct Vinny is? And I'm speaking from personal experience. This is why DEI must DIE, okay?
Please.
Just play around with some letters. You brought up the airplane analogy, right? If you look into the cockpit. Now, the reason I say that I have personal experience with this, my father, all he did, he ran a business in the 80s and 90s. He hired only handicapped individuals. Did you hear me? Tom, what is that?
Go.
No. I'm following you.
He had a marketing company. This is pre-internet.
Yeah.
They handed out flyers in the neighborhood. Okay, my father was born with cerebral palsy. It only affected him physically, mentally very sharp, very smart guy. To ingratiate himself with the community, he hired specifically handicapped people to give them jobs. All they had to do was walk around the block and deliver flyers.
Nice.
Put it in mailbox. There was a good chance they missed the mailbox. Okay, I'm just letting you know.
Being honest.
Every night at dinner, I would have mentally handicapped individuals, we called them a different word back then, retards. At dinner, I was raised among these people, okay? Yeah. It was the most insane, obnoxious, hilarious dinners of my life, hence why I became a comedian. But my father, pillar of the community, gave these guys jobs because they had no other opportunities to have jobs. What's my point? There's a difference between handing out flyers and flying a plane.
I know.
Okay.
What a great point.
Yeah.
That's my point.
What
There's
are we
a difference.
talking about?
So when you look in the cockpit and the guy turns around, he's like, "Hello." It's like, no, I'm cool with you greeting people down there, but you hit the nail on the head. Bingo.
Thank you.
Severe intellectual disabilities.
What are we talking about?
This is like stop playing with the planes.
And it's not a joke. They're going. By the way, it's already in.
What Adam is saying is so true because, everybody has a friend that somebody in their family has severe intellectual or psychiatric disabilities. There's nobody that's listening to this that doesn't have somebody there. This doesn't mean our level of sympathy needs to get to the point of compromising the safety of families traveling, whatever the job they may have. That's not, I go to this movie theater. Every time I go to the movie theater, the guy that checks my ticket, he's in a wheelchair. And you know what I think about? You know what's honestly what I think about? Yeah. Good for AMC for hiring this guy. I'm like, you know what? The first thought, I'm like, good for AMC. Yeah. Good for you. He's always there. And all he does is go to the, what do you call it? The QR code. And me, Tico, and Dylan, and the kids, we go in and watch the movie.
Awesome.
Right. That versus this, slightly different. Now, somebody may say, what if their job isn't that big of a job and the liability and the responsibilities and they're fair? That is a fair argument you're making. I think the part that is delusional and confusing is the following. What percentage of 100 girls under the age of 12 versus 100 boys, you just do a basic market research. How many of you want to grow up to be a pilot? What percentage of girls under the age of 12 will say, I want to be a pilot, versus what percentage of girls under the age of 12, boys will say they want to be a pilot? If 30% of boys say they want to be a pilot and 5% of girls say they want to be a pilot, and it's 6x, the reason why companies have men as pilots is not because they're racist. It's because more boys want to be a pilot one day and girls don't. What percentage of nurses, same thing with kids with nurses, what percent, you can go on with these questions. Yeah. You can't force a career upon a kid that doesn't want the damn job just because you're trying to bow down to the ESG community and kiss their asses. That's the problem the logical, reasonable American people have. And I understand Vinny's frustration. I understand the humor with the perfect analogy he just gave with his father, but this lacks common sense. So we can joke about this all we want. It's no longer funny, FAA, and it's no longer funny, United Airlines. People are sitting there saying, I just want you to get me from LA to New York, get me from Dallas to Miami. That's all I want. Honestly, I don't care what that person is in there, what nationality they are, what background they are, if they're male or female. Just prove the results. And then we can sit there and say, okay, this makes sense.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.